I hit the button. I mean, it'll eventually kick in.
It's on. We're live.
So
What's
I
up,
need to say something
everybody?
before we get started. Hey, world. Who knows who's out there? Who knows? LinkedIn notifications suck, so we don't know who's watching, who's not. Um, but I need to say something. Sometimes, at moments, our ego gets involved, make mistakes, and hurt the people close to us. And the reality is, it doesn't matter what our intention, it still hurts. And for that, I owe somebody an apology, and I'm apologizing to the world. So, with that being said, I truly apologize for my actions, and I will learn and try and be better. Um, with that being said, hey guys, what's going on? So, um, life is funny, man. This is my fourth time being live today. It's a good thing I'm taking a break. Um, it's like the KEW exchange I've kind of slowed down with a lot, and I'm just allowing it to just be. And I did my only KEW exchange show today, and then Robert Murray went live, so I jumped on with him for like 15, 20 minutes earlier. And then it was just on Annie's live as she's closing out Living with Annitude. And now we're on this with the okay, good, Sid. And this is just how tonight's going to be. So let's run with it. So, Jaris, what's up, man? What's going on, Jaris?
I'm all right, man. I'm glad I got my boy Reggie in the building. I'm somebody I gain inspiration from just about everybody, right? And Reggie, you got a lot of good stuff going on, and you inspired me to continue to do what I'm doing.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Other than that, y'all, I'm just on this journey, man, of growth and just realizing finally in my life, like I don't have to put up with this unnecessary foolishness that I've been holding on to my entire life. It's like, being released from prison for a long time, and I'm just so excited to be free. Now I'm just trying to find my own way because my way was other people's ways for so long. It's like now, okay, what do I do? So that's just where I'm at.
Cool, man. That's some good vibes right there that you're putting out there, man. The
Sure.
key that you said is free, right? And I think we just got to give ourselves permission to free up ourselves, be unapologetic about who we are, and show up, Raquel, in this world. I'm just shout out to my boo bear Raquel in the chat. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Dorothy. KDJ's in the virtual building. Mike Paterano's in the virtual building. Jaris is in the virtual building. Bill Bradford is in the virtual building. We're gonna get the vibe high.
Yeah, high
High
vibes.
vibe.
Positive and high vibes only, man. That's what I'm on.
Yeah.
But this week has just been a learning experience, y'all. Like I go through a lot, and then I realize most of the stuff I go through is stuff that I put in my own way, things that I created. And the older I get, I'm realizing I don't have to create certain things. I don't have to put up with a lot of stuff. So it's just a blessing, y'all. I'm just realizing how blessed I am, man. I'm really, 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 really blessed.
Well, that's good. Like that's the thing. Like I feel people need to understand that we have choices in this life, right? You could choose to be upset about a situation or you could choose to be happy about a situation. It's totally up to you. But we all have the grace in us to make that decision. So I'm actually, glad to, reconnect with you, Jairus. It's been a minute. So thank you for having me on your show this evening. This is good.
I appreciate that. Now I want to have a conversation with you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you, man, like, where did you begin to get this positiveness and strength and confidence about yourself, man? How did that happen?
Uh, oh, for sure, definitely over time. That's a great question. I wasn't always like this, for sure. Doing this was not a thing a couple of years ago. Shy guy, just kind of wanted to be behind the scenes doing a presentation. I was like stuttering Stanley. It wasn't like that until I found the voice within and unleashed it. But unleashing that voice was, going through some, stumbling blocks, falling on tough times. And we all have my tough times is different than your tough times versus Mike's. All of us have different, we hit rock bottoms at different points. But I think it's through those failures and hitting rock bottom where I, connected myself spiritually. I would say that's a big one. But also realizing that I c- I have that choice. Going back to that choice of that decision about what kind of vibe do I want to present right now. Every morning I get into a routine. I say I do my meditation, do my prayers. I get into a good state, right? But when I hit rock bottom, I realized I had to stop living for other people, right? I had to come out of my comfort zone and recognize that, man, you only got one life to live and you got to live it to your standards, not anybody else's standards. Because everybody else, for the longest time, told me what to do. I always had to ask permission about what to do. I was always put in this box. So I had to do the internal work, Jaris. I had to do it, man. That's daily affirmations. My mom's laid out that spiritual foundation for me. Big up moms, and getting connected with the right people.
And it's something that you just said that caught my attention is I was doing a lot of outside work, so to speak, right? And I think maybe about going on 2 weeks, I'm really being intentional about doing inside work because for some reason everything is starting to click. Like it's all inside of me. It's all inside of my mind. The whole nine. So I'm beginning to realize, like you said, that's my next step to begin to work on me. And I knew that, and I felt like I was working on me. But now I'm digging deeper and reflecting on the way I was brought up, my childhood, how, and I have this conversation with my mother all the time, and she says, you know, we love you, but we didn't tell you we love you. We didn't give you that encouragement as much as we could have. And reflecting back, I feel like that's why I was so shy and so nervous about everything. I can remember being so fearful just to ask my mother for seconds or just to eat in general. Not that she was going to say no. I mean, she cooked plenty of food, but that's just how my anxiety was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I'm learning to take care of that inner child, those inner issues that I had in the past that I didn't even know I had. And, sometimes I wake up just with an attitude for no reason, or just being depressed for no reason, beginning to look at my upbringing and doing that inner work and just telling myself that I love you. Look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you. That's really helping me to touch on part of greatness that I never even knew I had.
Well, let's take it back there. Like take you talked about childhood. When you reflect on that and you kind of look at that situation from outside looking in, have you ever realized, like, you said that your parents never said the L word a lot, like the love, I love you a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom always used to say, she was very affectionate, very emotional. My dad, on the other hand, stand up dude. Like they're still together to this day, over 35 years together. And I look at them like, as the prototype for love. But when I look at how he was raised, how he was brought up versus how my mom was brought up, they obviously had their hardships, right? Two different lives. But when you think about your parents, the way they treated you wasn't really their fault. Everything in terms of generation and what gets handed down, whether it be generational wealth or mentality, and in this case, it's mentality. It was a way of life. Remember, they're getting a lot of guidance from their parents that may or may not, and probably in this case, probably didn't show them the love that they should have, that they deserved, which then creates a trickle effect or ripple effect to you. It gets carried onwards. And I feel like that's where we all have to look at. And I'm glad that you brought up like childhood, because everything that you're experiencing now is remnants and a manifestation of what either you experienced, what you received, what you didn't receive, and everything that you were exposed to.
Yeah,
And
you hit a spot on, man. You go ahead, you finish?
No, I'm good. I'm done. I'm just saying that's the makeup.
Yeah, you hit a spot on, because I had to take it a step further and look at, like you said, how my mother was brought up. She had a military father who traveled a lot, and she didn't get that kind of affection from them. So how would she know to give that affection to me? Not only that, man, I got a big family. I got like 7 brothers and sisters. So you can imagine what she had to go through majority of the time by herself, coming up super extremely poor, not having anything. And I remember when my brother passed, I was probably, I don't know, man, maybe 25, 26, but I just remember me hugging her, telling her, look, I love you. That was like one of the first times as an adult, even as a teenager coming up, literally remembering telling my mother I love her. Now we say it all the time, now we're getting past that, but I hadn't got past that because I can look at my personal relationships when I'm dating other women. I love so hard, and I need somebody that can give me that extra affection because I didn't receive it as a child, and that's what I realized that I'm looking for. I need that confidence booster. I can tell myself I love myself all the time, but it feels good coming from other people, especially when you know that it's genuine. And that's something that I know now as an adult I'm looking for in relationships. I'm making sure when I deal with my children, I tell them I love them, even if, me and my children's mother, we're not together. So, I got days where I get them, I spend time with them, but some days go by where I don't do that. And I make sure the next day, I forgot to tell my kids I love them. I make sure I pick up the phone and just tell them that, because I realized that was something, that was a curse, like you say, that I have to actively break.
Yeah. The curse, the C word. Another C word is like the cycle, right? So you're doing a good job by breaking that cycle, breaking that curse, by showing love, showing affection to your kids. And I think the formula, to be honest with you, is as cliche as this sounds.
All right.
I hate cliche.
I hate
cliche shit. But it's true. You gotta love yourself. Love yourself. And then just love others. You know what I mean? Like the love that we pour out and the service that we do for others, and I've seen it and I've witnessed it firsthand, pours, like it just fills your cup, man. It comes back to you, and obviously you're not doing things just for things to come back to you, but just naturally, just that's how the vibrations. And we talked about being on high vibe, and you asked me off the top, like, how do I maintain that? I maintain that high vibrational energy because of the love that I get back, right? I'm giving love to people. There's a method to my madness that I do. People don't see what I do. I say, hey, I got this for you. Some people, but some people will embrace it.
Yeah.
That's when I know, boom, you're on the same level. And when we're operating at the same frequency, law of attraction, we're gonna be vibing. That energy is just gonna be infinite, and we want to keep that thing flowing. Today, because I'm human, shoot, it was muggy out. It was just gray, gloomy, and I was just like, man, I ain't feeling it today. I ain't feeling it, but I gotta talk to myself. It's like the tape recorder. It's like, man, don't worry. This is just, you got to get through this day. Get through this day. Keep your head up. Keep moving. Keep staying in motion. The minute you stay down, you get comfortable. That's when you lose momentum. You got so, like, me and you and I don't talk that, like, really, we don't talk, right? Really that often, like a couple of messages here and there. But don't think for a second, I see what you do, the work that you do, the inspiration that you pour in your community. You know, you helping people with career advice, especially during this time. Like, it's tough for a lot of people. So don't think for a second, that's love that you're pouring out there. And that love will just come back to you twofold.
I appreciate it. I mean, I get a lot of love, man. That's something that I don't really think about because I give a lot of love, like you say, man. But I got a lot of love, you know, in real life, on the internet, in person, because that's who I am. And I'm glad we having this conversation, Reggie, because like you said, we don't talk as much. But you are somebody, man. From the moment I saw you rocking, I don't know if it was LinkedIn Live, you was just rocking, like y'all had the DJ going on. And I said, man, this brother is really doing this thing. And then I began to follow you. Then I began to have conversations with you. And I noticed we had similar issues with, you know, what we got going on in our personal lives as far as dealing with our children. So you're somebody that I have to tell you face to face, man. Like I said earlier, I admire you. You're somebody that I look up to because for so long, I've been the person that everybody else looks up to. So it's great when I have somebody that I can look up to that has a high level of confidence, that's not cocky with it. Like, I can tell this is just who you naturally are. And not just saying because we're males of the same skin color, but man, the way I grew up in my community, we didn't have this. It just wasn't something that we did. You know, I come right from the streets, right from the projects, and the role models that we had, they were, you know, doing whatever they were doing, not trying to judge them, but that was my goal. Now I'm on a whole different mission. I'm looking to connect with people like you and I who are doing what we're doing so we can give encouragement to other people who grew up like me, that we can say, hey, look, you got guys that look like us that are happy. We're positive. We're doing our thing just in a different way, man. So I just salute you 100%, man, for just all the stuff that I've seen you do.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot because it's funny, like, our community, for some reason, we don't recognize that enough about each other. I don't know if crabs in a bucket is the right analogy. But I question it all the time. I'm like, why can't we collaborate? Why can't we, you know, be in arms together? Amplify the message.
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up with you too, Reggie. We did that live with Carl and the other guys, right? Man, I wanted that to be something that we did. I don't care if it was once every 6 months. I don't care if it was once a year, man. And just looking at that flyer, the way we were just, you know, Black excellence written all over. You know what I mean? That support is what I needed. And it might not have been nothing to y'all, but to me, man, you couldn't tell me like we were like top of the world, just doing our thing, just looking at the flyer, man. And getting to your point, I've never had that issue. But I know in other communities, we do have that because that's, like I say again, that's something that we weren't taught. But I can say now, like Jamal says all the time, we are changing the narrative, you know, not just us by ourselves. There are other people that I get to run into in my day-to-day activities on or offline that I can come in and say, hey, you know what? There are other people who are not acting like crabs in a bucket, who are trying to get to the top and pass the ladder down. It's just not promoted as much as other things are.
Yeah. No, and I feel you. Like, even like, and I'll be straight. Like, at that time I was, and I know Carl threw it out there, And I was just like, because I've been doing so much, I'm like, man, where am I gonna find the time?
Right.
Even Mike asked me, "Hey, you want to come on Misfits tonight?" I'm like, buddy, I'm spent right now. That's just real talk. But there's many ways to skin a cat. To your point,
Yes.
doesn't have to be once a week. It could be doesn't have to be two times a week.
Yeah.
Or sorry, every 2 weeks. But it could be once a quarter. It could be every
Yeah.
other month. Like
Yeah.
I'm down for that. And shoot, if somebody wants to facilitate it, because yes, I these days I am tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying my best. But yeah, I'm down for it. So you
What's
could
up, Mike?
So Sid got a toothpaste and then proceeded to paint herself with it and then decided to use it as gel in her hair. So I was washing toothpaste out of her hair because she decided that a whole tube was the best idea. So I'm sorry that I missed that part. But it's okay, right? Like that's life, and life with a 3-year-old and single dad life. So yeah, I mean, doing a lot of lives, being live a lot, it's a lot, right? Like, especially when you're the one controlling the lives. And if you're like Reggie and doing all this post production and breaking it down into snippets, and I don't do any of that shit. Like being live a lot is a lot. It's a huge energy drain. But when you're doing the work that Reggie is to create the quality and production quality that he does, it's a whole nother level of effort. And then on top of his day job, right? And then on top of just being the person that he is, he's always there. If you need him, he's there. He's a true friend in every essence of the word. So, there's a lot, right? Like there's so much daily life these days, and we all juggle the best we can. When I first created Misfits, I didn't think I'd ever miss an episode, right? And then life kind of just punched me in the face and said, you need to take a step back. And I did. It didn't make me happy to do so, but I was happy to do it because I needed it. The comments are exploding tonight. There's people everywhere. I hate comments. I hate doing the comments. I hate comments. It drives me
fine.
nuts.
I will do it for you. I like doing the comments because I'm not controlling it this time, so I could call out people. This is good. This is fun. Bill.
There you go. I mean,
Rob, Dorothy, and Lee, Raquel, and I know
there
Gabe. Gabe, I do see your comments. I'm not addressing you. I'm on a Gabe timeout. No, 20-second timeout. Just give me 20 seconds, Gabe. We'll get to you. Jen Russman, how you doing? Who else we got? Darren. Let's have some fun with the people, shall we? How is everybody doing today? In the comments, is everybody good? Right?
It's been a long day, man. Like it's been a day of, I think every day is a day of ups and downs these days.
Yes, it is. And I want to ask one question to your audience too, because I've been like the travel bug is like biting at me daily. I want to know in the chat, where's the first place everybody wants to go? Like in the chat, just let us know.
Arkansas.
Curious,
Arkansas. Everybody say Arkansas.
Little Rock? Wow.
No.
Little Rock, Arkansas. They got nice beaches out there, no?
Well, I mean, where I'm at, there's actually something they call the beach. But considering I'm from Florida, it's really not a beach.
I don't think anybody wants to travel. Oh, Rob Murray wants to go to Alaska. Okay.
He's from Alaska.
Oh, he's from Alaska. My bad, Rob.
Yeah. Oh, look at D-Roo. He wants to go to the Indian reservation.
Oh, okay, cool.
All
right, Darren. Oh, Rob wants to ask a question for Rob. Ask the question.
Go ahead, Rob.
I love answering questions. Go away. Shoot them up.
Jen, you want to go to Arizona? That's the first place you want to travel to?
Coming in the summer? Oof.
But what's on your mind these days, guys? What's been on your mind?
I've been on a
like,
really good run. So here's where I'm at. I've been on this amazing run in life, right? Like life has been so great lately that I almost find myself walking on eggshells so I don't fuck it up. And what I notice is when I get to that point, I always find a way to fuck it up. So what I'm trying not to do this time, which I'm not sure if I did or not, is fuck it up. And by almost forcing it upon myself. So I think I need to understand that mistakes happen, shit happens. No one's perfect at all times. And all I can do is just be my best self and try and bounce back the best way that I can when I do mess up. I own it. I have taken ownership of when I do. And that's where I'm at in life. Like I've been on this amazing run of just like things are amazing for me. And I just don't want to lose it, right? Like I've been my vibration's been so high, and everything is all the synchronicities are in place, and I feel like I'm ready to keep pushing forward with it. I don't want to run it into the ground, run from it, or hide from it. I want to embrace it this time and allow. And when I make the mistakes, own them and just move on with it and not let it tear me down. Because usually what I used to do is it used to throw me into a spiral. And I don't want to hit those spirals anymore. I'm self-aware of them. I have people in my life that will call me out on them. And I just don't want to hit them. You know, it's okay making the mistake. How do you prescription without health insurance? The medication is $1,000 per month. Can't afford that one. Ask Reggie. He's in Canada. He can probably ship it to you across lines. But you might have to send it on WhatsApp where it's encrypted. You might have to send him a message on WhatsApp where it's encrypted. I mean, Rob, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, when it comes to health insurance, I haven't had health insurance in years. Luckily, my prescriptions that I have taken have been generics, so it hasn't really cost me that much. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't need a Rob.
That's way out of my specialty.
Yeah, not in my
Reggie's just staying quiet.
Yeah,
just staying quiet on this one.
I'm gonna be the only Canadian here and just be in my little corner. We're the size of California, so it's fine.
That's a tough one, Rob. I don't know if that's in any of our specialties or anywhere near it. Maybe somebody in the comments can help you and reach out to Rob directly. I don't know.
Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor, a pharmacist, anybody in the house? Anybody?
Maybe there's a natural treatment. You know, maybe there's a natural treatment that you can look into. I don't know. I mean, you could reach out to Genergy with her healing. Maybe that can help you. Maybe that's a solution.
Genergy.
So I might need y'all help. Got two guys right here, right? All right. So I made a transition, a conscious transition to serve myself, serve the God, serve people, right? And I felt like I'm doing a good job. I feel like I'm learning myself. I feel like I'm checking off everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm giving. I feel like I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm making mistakes. But it's like I'm now at like I won't say crossroads, but now I'm just like a spot where I'm like, okay, I'm not. I'm almost second guess. I'm almost beginning to second guess myself, right? Because I don't feel like some of the stuff that I'm doing is like I'm not rushing anything, but it's like, all right, when am I going to see the results of some of this hard work that I've been doing my whole entire life? I know some of the results I'm seeing are through myself and through way other people try me, but I guess my question is, how do I what I do, just keep going? Is it something that I just say, you know what, you got it, you got it, just keep going and things will happen, or what?
Gotta keep pushing through, man. Like like it's hard to scale out when that breakthrough will happen, right? But depending on what you want to achieve, I don't know what it is. You'd have to like obviously let us know what that is. But man, I always have this thing in my mind where it's like the number 10 always stands out. 10 is 10 in terms of like years. And that's like the pinnacle, like from what I've seen from some greats, it's like the 10-year mark is when you're like after you've been doing something for that long, that's when you've reached like your peak. You've excelled at it. Everything that you've harvested, plant all the seeds that you've planted will start to come to fruition in a big way. It can come sooner than that, trust me, but from Gary Vee to other thought leaders out there, they've always said like 10 years. You got to put in the work. It's like, Gary Vee will talk about this life being a marathon and it's not a sprint, right? I think if you have that willpower, don't forget you're building muscle along the way. You're learning, you're growing, you're connecting with people, right?
So do
Sometimes
I?
you're gonna fall on your face. Need that redirection sometimes. Like how long? Like how long is long for you?
I mean, I look at things as a marathon, and I just feel like some of the stuff I just been doing my whole life, and this comes from other people letting me know, like, man, you've been doing this for a while, and I have to reflect and say, you know what, I have been doing this for a while. The energy that I give off, being a positive person, within a few years, just consciously realizing that, I'm a positive person, but just looking back, reflecting, I've been like this my whole life. I'm not going to speak on too many things that I'm trying to break through, but it's just like, all right, I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I'm just feel like I'm in the same spot when it comes to certain stuff. Now, we'll say this, I have recently cut off a lot of people, so maybe going forward, I can see some results just from that. Maybe that's what it was that was holding me back for so long.
Okay, so those people that you used to talk to, because you started to evolve, you started to grow, you need to now align yourself with people that are on that same path or in that same wavelength. You know what I mean? Because even Nancy's saying it in the comments. She's right. Draw strength, draw the energy from people in your network. Sometimes you might have to take a step back and just say, hold on, let me look at this from a 10,000 foot view, look down, connect with a mentor or somebody that's doing what you want to do, right? And is doing it well. Reach out and say, hey, I'm looking for advice. This is where I'm at on my path. Do you have any advice for me in terms of where I need to go? What direction? What can I be looking at to get to where I really want to be? Like, it's like, you ever read the book The Alchemist? The Alchemist, they talk about like spiritual guides. So it's obviously a fable where Santiago goes on a journey with spiritual guides along the path to the treasure that guide him to where he needs to be. You just need to tap into I'm gonna use Mike's word, your intuition, to figure out who's gonna help you get to your destination.
And that's a good point that you made, and that's something I've struggled with my entire life, asking for help. I don't know how to ask for help. I struggle with that. And there are people who reach out to me that I trust on a daily basis and ask me, Jaris, Cap, how can I help you? And I sit right there and tell them, oh, I don't need no help. I'm all right. I don't know how to do that. This is something I've never. I was raised to be so strong and independent. I don't know.
So can I ask you a question, Jaris?
Yes, sir. Please.
Where are you exactly looking for progress?
I'm looking for progress in my business, man. Everything else is good. I'm happy. My mental was good. I wake up happy. I mean, I just feel like that's the only area in life that I'm missing is my financial status. I feel like everything else is absolutely perfect. I vibrate high. I'm at a peace. I'm at a place that I'm super happy not having anything. I've never really had nothing my entire life, so it's not like I feel like I'm missing out on anything. I just feel like now, okay, I got it. I checked off this. I've checked off that. That's the only thing that I'm feeling like, all right, I haven't checked that off yet. In what I'm doing now,
Why?
let me say that. In what I'm doing now.
The connected consultant. Let's help him right now. Let's help him right now.
How do you define success, Jaris?
I define success. This is my definition. Success to me is giving all praise to the Most High, waking up, being peaceful, being able to just be happy. You know, if I want to take the day off just to spend time with my kids, I can do that. If I want to do whatever, I just feel like I'm in a place right now. For me to be successful, I should be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Being emotionally straight, mentally straight, and financially straight. And that's the only one I'm not straight at. Everything else I can check off and be 100% confident with. I'm successful already. Let me say that. I know I'm successful because I beat the odds.
You know, it's so funny. I was just about to say that.
I know I'm good already. It's not like I'm like looking at myself like I done beat the odds. I wake up every day and do stuff that
because don't you said you want to be able to do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah. But like I'm kind of like
aren't you doing that right now?
To a certain extent, yes.
Right.
To a certain extent.
So if you
go ahead.
So if you adjust a few things in your life, would it be more of an extent?
I think. Go ahead.
I think you're undervaluing your value because your impact is frigging enormous on every human being you have contact with. I think you're undervaluing your value as a human being, who you are as a person, who you are as a spiritual being, and what you bring to the table. I feel like you are diminishing your value because of a bank account number that you don't see yet. I think that a bank account number has nothing to do with somebody's personal value, worth, or what they bring to the table in this world. And you are undervaluing and minimizing yourself because of a number that doesn't mean anything in the scheme of life. You are an enormous value. You have enormous value too. And I don't say that, Jared. I say that to many people. I say it to many people. There's not many people in my life that I consider that. You bring value. You bring value to every person you interact with. So why aren't you valuing yourself?
I don't know. That's something I didn't think about.
The only thing you're worried about a bank account number, which means nothing. What does that mean? You could have $1 billion in your account. What, so you can buy more shit? You know how miserable most billionaires are? You know how miserable most millionaires are? When I had millions, I was miserable. Every single time. All the times. Each time. When I was working with governments around the world, signing government contracts, flying around the world, being a UN speaker, working with the UN for 5 years, I was miserable. And I was doing great things and helping people, but I was miserable. I've never felt as empowered and as personally valued as I feel today. Because I don't bring a penny into the game. I don't think about a dollar. I don't think about a bank account. I don't care about it. Because in the end, it all works out. My value does not have anything to do with my bank account number. My value is what I bring into other people's life. The impact that I create on a daily basis. And being accountable to myself. Fuck up, I own it. I live in my core values every day. I wake up happy. I go to sleep happy. I know that I did my best each day. Why am I going to let a number define me? A number that's not even real. It's paper based on dead guys' heads that they're about to write another $4 trillion for. Who the hell's paying that $4 trillion? Who's paying the other 30 trillion? Never. It's never getting paid. And this is the number that you're worried about keeping up with? I mean, you're looking at it as just your energy is so much more valuable than any currency. Your energy and what you bring to the table, I would take that over having billionaires as personal friends. Because it means nothing to me. The money comes if you need it. When you're there, when you need it, when you're ready for it, when it has its purpose in your life, it will show up for you. Don't worry about what you don't have. Be grateful for what you do have. If you get stuck into worrying about what you don't have, it's already over, Jaris. You're already lost. That's your subconscious trying to kick you in the ass because, maybe you don't have a new car. Maybe you don't have a big house. Maybe you don't have these other things. But you know what you do? You wake up happy every damn morning. You bust your ass every single day. Your people around the world online in this community that you've created support you daily. And then you also have the people in your life that work with you that you don't even think listen to, that weeks later repeat back the words you said to them, because that's your impact. Don't chase something that doesn't matter. Understand your value and who you are and what you bring to the table, my friend. You're a monster of a man. You're a monster of a human being. You are enormous. Just being you. Don't chase somebody else's bullshit. You don't need to. I'll go back to being silent.
Now let me ask you this: not getting too far on it like that, Mike. I heard you and I got you, but I mean for the simpler things. You know what I mean? Not to get too deep into my personal situation, right? I'm not talking about like the millions. I mean just for some of the simpler things in life. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm at this point where I shouldn't have to do some of the things that I'm having to do. If that makes sense. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail on live, but I'm still doing some things for money. Not saying I'm too good or to be doing it, it doesn't bother me. But at this level that I'm at in life, I personally feel that it's just certain things that I need to get me to where I'm going. I mean, we take a vehicle. Let's just say that. We just take a vehicle, right? Okay, it's nothing wrong with me. I need to go ahead and get straight. And I'm just feel like I'm just in a situation where I'm like, okay, what's going on? How do I know I'm valuable in everything you're saying, Mike, but I don't really see that. I don't see that. I don't really see what other people see in me. I know I'm a good person, blah, 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 but I don't really see everything you describe.
You are always going to be the last person to recognize your greatness. Always. And it's because we are our own worst critics.
Yep.
Mike said it best, and which is something I had to learn over the years, is that the money comes. And just as fast as the money comes, the money goes fast too.
It goes. Yep.
Right? And Mike, you nailed it on the head. When you think about, man, I was listening to your definition of success, Jaris. You're like, man, I got the energy, I got the vibe, I'm high vibe, all that good stuff. To be honest, that's what you need. because the high vibe is going to attract the right people that are in alignment with you, which will then bring opportunities. Remember, we talked about servicing others. You're doing that. So you're on the right path. You might have these little voices inside you, like that saboteur voice that's saying, like, man, Jaris, what are you doing? You need to make more money. But I've learned throughout the years, and I remember somebody told me this, that whenever those small voices, you get those small voices like, yo, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you're close to your breakthrough, man. You got to keep pushing forward. Because I've seen it myself. I remember, man, I used to tell myself, man, like, why am I doing this? I'm rehearsing this presentation. This person that's supposed to be facilitating this conversation, they're not ready. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But then to find out later that I was doing it to build up these muscles and build up the confidence I needed to deliver value through my voice, through the message that I was about to deliver. And based on that presentation, it set me on a path for more opportunities. So when you question where you're at today, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Think about, and it's funny, like, I made a post about this week, because last week I was just trying to figure out, like, where am I at right now? Where am I at? You know, we talk about growth mindset, but I'm like, no, it's not that. And I was talking to my boss, and he's like, hey, man, we want to look to promote you in the next couple of years. But as he was talking, I'm taking it all in, but I'm like, I barely paid attention to him. I paid attention to what he said, but I didn't really pay attention to him, because in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm going to start developing an illusionist mindset where I am creating my own reality. I know the money will come. I just got to put in the work. I got missions to do. And Mike talked about it. Freak, I'm running like these shows, and I'm managing the back end. I'm like, multitasking, but that's skill stacking. I'm skill stacking in the sense where I'm now, drawing all these different type of skills that I never had before, but it's making me so much more valuable. So that when I go to the table for a proposal that I want to bring forth for a particular program, if I want to build an alliance with somebody, if I want to network with somebody, hey, here's all the things I bring to the table. Let's have a discussion, because I'm bringing tremendous value to you. And that value that I'm going to bring eventually is going to lead to some serious dollars down the line. But Mike, what's that term that we always say right now? We're just getting started. We just getting started.
I like that. I appreciate that, y'all. Because I was getting a little antsy. I mean, I appreciate y'all too, because too many people can't kick it to me straight like that. I don't know what it is, but some people like to tiptoe around me, but I appreciate y'all. I really do.
But Jaris, let me say something. I've called you from day one. I called you out on your shit from day one. Our first phone call. Your intuition is so friggin' powerful, and all you do is doubt it.
You said my what is power? My
your intuition.
Intuition.
Get out of your own damn way. You're blocking yourself on every way possible. Go schedule calls with Mark. Like, stop. He has an open calendar for a reason. Go use it. Listen, man, I've handed you every tool you need in front of you. You've asked and I've given. You're still waiting for permission. And I don't know who you're waiting for permission from. You've never waited for permission.
Mark. So he's right. Mark had that conversation with me.
Uh-huh.
And he goes,
I've had plenty of them.
He goes, yeah, man. And Jaris, you already said it too. It's funny because he goes to me, yeah, Reggie goes, you need to talk to your younger self. And keep talking to that younger self, and tell your younger self, what would you say to him today? That little Jaris, you know what I mean? And again, remember, it goes back to what you were exposed to back in your environment, right? Back in those days. Like for me personally, I'm just saying back then, I always had to ask for permission to do things. Just kind of like you said, like you want to get a second helping, but you didn't even want to ask. So you need to start asking yourself, hey, or telling yourself it's okay to get that second helping. Have as much food as you want. Because you are now going to start to develop an abundance mindset. When you say oh well, I don't know if I'm making the money that I want, then you've already lost the race, because now you're starting from a place of lack. Envision that the money's already here. The value that you bring to your community is already here. The people that comment on your posts, they're already there. They're in your DMs. Don't you love that DM that you get? Like that one DM. You might have, like, for you, because you get a lot of engagement, right? On your posts.
Yeah.
You probably get, let's say, between 100 and 200, right?
Mm-hmm.
Likes or whatever. You may get a whole bunch of comments. But I don't know about you, but for me, because I don't have a huge following, I don't really need one. But what I love the most is that one DM I get. And I got it the other day again. Man, thank you so much for your message today. The reason why that's more impactful than a 200 comments or a 200 likes is because that one person was real enough to hit me up on a one-way and give me their true feelings and thoughts, as opposed to a freaking copy and paste. That's awesome. That's great. You're awesome. You're great. I can tell myself that every single day. You know what I mean? So think about what you're building. You're on the right path.
I appreciate it, though.
And Jaris, if there's things in your life you don't like right now, write them down. Say, within this period of time, I'm done with this, and I'm going to do more of this, and make it happen. Make it come to life. Stop waiting for life to come to you. Like, allow your life to be magical. Allow your life to be what you want it to be. Stop thinking that you need permission from someone or anyone. You don't need permission from anyone to be your best you. You do it every day for everyone else. Do it for yourself sometimes. Acknowledge how far you've come, Jaris. Own it. You have changed so much in the last 6 months, man. Like, you've impacted hundreds, thousands of people globally. They come out and support you daily. Own it.
Got to talk to yourself on a daily. That's it.
I got it, y'all. Crystal clear, y'all. I appreciate that. Y'all nailed that one home, man. I don't know, man. I just been like that, man. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of it is me wanting to stay humble. A lot of it is that, because I know what I do.
You know what I'll say, dude? Jared, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, what?
I commend you for being humble. Number one, I've always said this too, and I'm always astonished. And I always, if I'm on a live with you and I see you taking notes, it's like you're the only one that does that. Mm-hmm. And if nobody recognizes how humbling that is, mm-hmm. You don't even want to deal with them. You don't want to mess with them. You don't want to interact with them. You don't want to allocate your energy to them, because they don't deserve you. So the key word I just said, deserve. You feel like you don't deserve it. As much as you want it, you don't feel like you deserve it. So what ends up happening is you're talking out both sides of your mouth. But I say that in the most respected manner, because I see somebody that is on the path of greatness and that will get to where he's going. You just have to break through, because there's levels, right? And that's why I'm preaching this whole illusionist mindset, because it gets me excited. Because think about the reality that you could create for yourself, the opportunities. Mike said that too. Create your opportunities. No one has a background like you. Look at that dope background, right? I like Mike's picture, but in the background, but I like yours better, right?
Yeah, well, it's a duck. missing the Affleck duck, right? Time's not linear. Stop pretending it is. Stop pretending that time's linear. What you're going to accomplish has already been done. You're just living the experience. Know that. You've already done it. Mm-hmm. You've already accomplished your mission. You've already done everything in your purpose. You're just living the experience. And allow yourself to live it. Get out of your own way. Schedule more calls with Mark. Talk to Reggie more. Get on the phone with these people. Get on the phone with me more. I mean, you reach out to me all the time, but like reach out to others, man. Bring people into your life that bring magic into your life. You know, like they're all at your fingertips. I made sure of it.
Like even Robert Murray, he's offering up support there too. Like that's solid. Hey Rob, that's solid. You know what? I'm gonna call out Rob for a second, real quick. When you there's nothing that I can't stand when people are listening to a man being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna put it out there, okay? Saying that he has issues with asking for help, but Jaris needs to listen to that, and he will, I guarantee you. But people are listening to it. But there's often that one or a couple people that would be like, hey, reach out to me because I'm listening. Those are the ones that are really listening. Those are the ones that you want because there's that whole filtration system. Be like, Brita, you guys have Brita in the States. Brita, right? Filter your water? No? Okay. Well, we got in Canada.
Right? Filter your water? Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You have a filtration system where you are going to filter out the good, the people that really want you to win versus the people that really don't want you to win. Those are the people you want to align with. So you got people now. Jenergy, she probably just said, reach out to me, Jaris, because she wanted me to say her name. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. Jenergy. No, that was a joke. Jenergy. But Jenergy's offering up her help. Rob's offering his help too. So lean in on that. Take advantage of that. Not advantage, but take the opportunity to connect.
But Jaris,
and yeah, you can reach out to me too.
I handed you a vote. When's the last time you reached out to Andrea? When's the last time you reached out to Reggie? Reached out to Karina or Nancy or, I mean, that's I brought to your table that you didn't have to look for. And Annie made a point. Being seen is a whole different story. You're seen, man. You're seen daily by people, and you're just not acknowledging it. You're too busy chasing your own tail right now, bud.
I wouldn't say
that. Take a pause. Pause for it.
I would say, honestly, y'all, I'm scared to death, man. I mean, y'all got to think. I have not interacted like you all before, you know? So, yeah, I have to. All right.
What are you scared of? What are you scared of? To reach out? Man, there's commercials built on that. Reach out and touch someone. You don't got to touch them. You can do it virtually. It's okay.
Reach out to Annie. Reach out to Annie. Reach out to everyone. Reach out to KDJ. He'll get on a Zoom with you. You want to talk about real talk? Talk to KDJ. I mean, you might be having tennis in the background, but he'll talk to you. He has some real stories, man. He's real. Like KDJ is real. And he'll tell you like it is. He won't play games with you. You know, you
may say table flavor though. He might drop that a couple times.
He might. But I mean, you have it at your fingertips, man. You just gotta ask. You just gotta accept the invitations. You've been invited. You already have a seat at the table. You're just sitting there watching the table operate. The invite's already been handed to you.
Understood.
If you don't reach out to Jenergy, I'm gonna reach out to her.
Yeah.
Just so I can say Genergy.
All right, guys. All right.
This is good,
I
man.
gotta
No,
go see
man.
I gotta go.
Reach out. No, bro.
I gotta
Seriously, if you need like just perspective, I'm here, man. You already have my number. You got me on WhatsApp. I'm here, man.
Thank you all. Once again, thank everybody in the comments for the support. That's what I needed. I'll be all right.
Think about like this time next year where Jaris will be at, Mike.
Think about it a month from now. Who thinks about a year? Who the hell can think that far ahead at this point?
I'm just saying.
So how about this one, Reggie? Think about it in a week if he picks up the phone and calls some damn people in the next week.
Genergy.
Think about where he'll be next week at this time.
Oh, Genergy. Yep. All right.
All right, y'all. Another good
Love
one
you
in the
guys,
books.
man.
You have an amazing night. I got to sit.
All right. Cool, man. Stay great.
Sure went through
bro.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Genergy.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The infamous StreamYard and how long it takes to end the episode.
You are still alive, by the way. Genergy.
I know. It's we're having trouble disconnecting. We're